What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to a brand new video. Hopefully y'all are doing good, and I'm doing pretty good today because as we speak, we are 5 hours away from game 1 of the ALCS between the Mariners and the Toronto Blue Jays. The Blue Jays looking to get their revenge after the 2022 wildcard loss against the Mariners, which did not end in very good fashion. So today, we're going to go over everything you guys need to know about the upcoming ALCS. If you're excited for this one, make sure you like and subscribe, and let's get right into it. Alright, so the first thing I want to go over with y'all is the schedule of the series. The date, the location, and the time. So game 1 is today at Toronto in the Rogers Center, and it starts at 8:03 p.m. Game 2, Monday, October 13th, also at the Rogers Center. The Milwaukee Brewers advance, so I believe the game is at 5 p.m. Game 3 is Wednesday in Seattle. Game 4 is Thursday in Seattle. Game 5 is Friday in Seattle. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, no off days in between then, and 3 games in a row in Seattle. Most people don't like it. Well, I'm one of those people, okay? But game 6, if it goes that far, back to the Rogers Center on Sunday, October 19. And if it goes 7, we finish this series Monday, October 20 at the Rogers Center as well. So most people don't like the 2-3-2 format for the location. I'm one of those people. I feel like it should be 2-2-1-1-1. So like 2 at the Rogers Center, 2 in Seattle, Rogers Center, Seattle, Rogers Center. That feels like the normal schedule. That's what I would do. But maybe some people like it. I actually don't know. My series prediction as well is Jays in 6, and that's also what a lot of people are saying. Seattle is going to give us a run for our money, probably give us a harder fought battle than what New York gave us, so I'm excited for that one. All right, later in the day, the Blue Jays also announced that Kevin Gausman will be the game 1 starter. Now, I kind of thought for like half a second, what if it was Trey Savage? But it is not Trey Savage. It is Kevin Gausman, rightfully so. Had a stellar performance against those Yankees in game 1. And it has also been announced that Trey Savage is going game 2 and Shane Bieber is going game 3. So wanting to keep Trey Savage at home, I don't know if that's the reason why they put him game 2 and Shane game 3. Maybe they just thought, worked out pretty well last time, so let's do it again. But there's also this thought of Shane Bieber, keep him pitching at home. Don't have him face the hostile environment yet of opposing teams in the postseason. Keep that to the veteran Shane Bieber and let him deal with that. But game 1, it is going to be Kevin Gausman. Bryce Miller for the Mariners is going game 1 for them as well. And I believe he's on like 3 or 4 days rest. I don't know which one it is, but he's on short rest after that amazing ALDS we just watched between the Tigers and Mariners. Game 5 went 15 innings. That was insane. So that was probably best case scenario for the Blue Jays, because even with the off day, the Mariners are tired as hell. But yeah, the pitching matchup game 1, Kevin Gausman, Bryce Miller on short rest, Kevin Gausman on extra days rest, because it's more than 5 days, and we all know when Kevin Gausman pitches on extra days rest, he is one of the best pitchers in the game, so you'll have to see that. So now I want to talk about the ALCS roster, and a lot of people were thinking that Bo Bichette was going to be on it, myself included, but he is sadly not on it, which I have 2 ways to feel about this. 1, he's not good to go right now, so they left him off the roster, which would be dumb. Because if you know he's going to be good for game 3 or 4, you put him on the roster. So if that's the case, then that's just stupid roster construction. Or the second way I feel is that Bo Bichette, they know he's not going to be good to go the entire series, so they left him off, which would be understandable. Hopefully, 1, we make the World Series for our fans and for this team, but 2, especially for Bo Bichette. We're kind of like the Phillies. Even though the Phillies got eliminated, they were doing it for Zach Wheeler. Now we're doing it for Bo Bichette, okay? There were 2 changes that were made in the pitching staff. Everything else is the same, by the way. The 2 changes that were made are Chris Bassett and Max Scherzer are on the roster now, which is big because they can give you length and they can be ultra mid, which is good when you just need length guys. You don't need them to go out and throw a no-hitter, but you also don't want them to go out and give up 7 runs in an inning. They can give you a solid like 4 or 5 inning a 2-run performance, and that's exactly what you need from those guys. Barrios as well, he's still injured, so not on the ALCS roster. And the pitchers that got taken off to replace Chris and Max were Tommy Nance and Justin Brule. Tommy Nance, my favorite pitcher in the bullpen. So you hate to see it for Tommy Nance, but you know, it is what it is, I guess. All right, so now we're going to go over this article to see how the Blue Jays matched up with the Mariners in the regular season to see if it's going to be a good matchup in favor of the Jays. So it starts off by saying it's the second time Seattle has faced Toronto in the postseason in recent history. And the Mariners went to Toronto for the Wild Card Series in 2022 and swept them after we were up 8-1 and lost the second game. It randomly popped up on my YouTube feed this morning, and I watched it for whatever reason. Teoscar had 2 bombs. That was the first time I actually seen the highlights. The only other clip I've seen of that game is George Springer and Bo Bichette colliding. So I wanted to see, like, what was it like when we actually had the lead? Teoscar Hernandez had 2 home runs. He went 3 for 3, and we had the bases loaded like 5 different times. And we lost 10-9. We were up 8-1, and a big chunk of the players that are on the team currently were also on the 22 team, like Cal Raleigh, Rodriguez, JP Crawford, Suarez, Kirby, Castillo, Gilbert, and yeah, that's a lot of players, man. But good news for Blue Jay fans, the Mariners did drop the regular season series to the Blue Jays in a 6-game set. The Blue Jays won 4 games, and they lost 2 games, so they came away with the season series W. In April, Seattle went to Toronto and took 2 out of 3. But then a month later, the Blue Jays came and swept the Mariners in a 3-game series. We do have home field advantage this series, and we will have home field advantage if the Dodgers advance against Milwaukee in the World Series. If it's Dodgers-Blue Jays have home field advantage. Like John Snyder said, these 2 teams are completely different teams from when they matched up earlier in the season, because it was in May the last time these 2 met. Yeah, the biggest question mark for Seattle is who's going to be available in the rotation. After going 15 innings and using a lot of pitchers in that one game, plus the only one off day they had going into the ALCS, it's going to be a lot of who is where type of stuff for the starting rotation. I saw Brian Wu was like not on the ALDS roster or something like that. He was injured. Apparently he might be good to go. I actually haven't seen the Mariners roster yet, so I don't know how that's going to go. But that's the biggest question mark for sure, is the pitching staff, mainly the starting rotation. Who's going to start games for the Seattle Mariners? But yeah, that's all I got for today's video. Hopefully I get it out before game 1 of the ALCS. But your boy is freaking hyped. If you're hyped as well, make sure you like and subscribe if you enjoyed this one. And with that being said, it's been your boy Brandon. I break down the Blue Jays, and I'll see you next time. Peace.